As I begin today's broadcast, viewer, I want you to take a look at these two faces. Look at them for a moment longer, viewer, because you probably won't remember them beyond this show. In fact, I'm pretty sure you won't remember them beyond this show. Their names are Anish Avadhya and Ashwini Koshta. Both are 24 years old, both software engineers, living the good life, living it up as youngsters in Pune, just out of college, just into a working environment, both software engineers and both living it up, partying and enjoying life. Just before this broadcast, I received word that the families of both Ashwini and Anish are in the middle of nowhere on the highway between Maharashtra and their native Madhya Pradesh with the bodies of these two youngsters. They've stopped because the ice blocks preserving the bodies of these two have completely melted in this merciless heat wave, and they need more ice to be able to take the bodies of Ashwini and Anish, their children, back for their last rites in a dignified condition. Dignified. What a word to use for the mangled, broken bodies of two young people. Both Anish and Ashwini lost their lives in a horrifying flash early on Sunday morning in Pune at 3 a.m. as they made their way back from a nightclub. Their motorcycle was struck at terrifyingly high speed by a Porsche Taycan sports car being driven at a dangerously high speed by an underage driver, a 17-year-old. A boy whose father owns a large real estate firm and is only the latest in a familiar cycle of terrifying negligence and lack of respect for the law and for life among India's influential and affluent. But it wasn't the accident itself that has numbed a nation today. Accidents happen, even when the perpetrators are irresponsible brats in powerful sports cars. We've seen it so many times before, right? The truly incredible piece of this story, the one that has outraged you and me and this country today, is that the underage driver, this 17-year-old brat, was granted bail by a juvenile court just hours after the accident, with the court amazingly stipulating, and get this, viewer, the court made this the bail condition. The boy has to write a 300-word essay about the accident. I'll let that sink in for a moment. Just play those words again in your head. An underage boy illegally driving an unregistered Porsche at an illegal speed after underage drinking, resulting in the instantaneous death of two persons, has been asked by a court to write an essay as one of his bail conditions. Not only does this poor teenager have to suffer the lifelong burden of composing about half a page of text, the merciless juvenile court has also ordered that his parents have to keep him away from bad company. If all this wasn't harsh enough on this young lad, the court has also said that the boy must undergo mandatory counseling. How terrible! And that his parents must ensure he doesn't repeat such behavior. I am sure these aggressive, unremitting, merciless measures will teach the son of an influential builder what it is to respect life. I'm sure a 300-word essay will make him a better human being. I'm sure there's no bad company at home, given that allowing a teenager illegal access to a Porsche must count, of course, as good company in this country. While this poor underage driver suffers the painful strictures of the court, let us hope that the families of Ashwini and Anish have received the ice blocks that they are waiting for in the middle of nowhere, that have been granted to this young man, this 17-year-old driver of the Porsche. Please bear with me as I summarize for you the incredible bail conditions. This will boil your blood, but bear with me. Number one, he has to write an essay. Remember, he got the bail in just 15 hours. Most people languish in jail. Bail should be something that everyone is entitled to. This young man got it in 15 hours. Number one condition for the bail, you have to write a 300-word essay about what happened. 300-word essay. Viewer, you know what 300 words is. It's half a page of text. Bail condition number 2, you have to help traffic police for 15 days. I wonder what this guy is going to do to help the traffic police. Bail condition number 3, he has to take psychiatric counseling. Probably good advice, but then if you've just been in an environment with a family that has endorsed irresponsible living, what is psychiatric counseling going to do? Bail condition number 4, help accident victims in the future. Right. Bail condition number 5, parents to ensure that he doesn't commit this kind of offense ever again. Amazing, amazing bail conditions. And this is not even satire. I'm not making anything up. These are the real conditions on which this man, this young, I'm going to call him a man because he's 17 years old and 8 months. His condition number 6, parents will keep the accused away from bad company, which actually made me laugh when I first read this, because how much worse can your company be if your family allows you to do this kind of thing? How much worse company? What kind of bad company is he talking about? The people who were with this man, this boy, they were in bad company because this boy is bad company. Let me say that very clearly. Bail condition number 7, he has to study traffic rules. Amazing. And submit a report in 15 days. Those are the bail conditions. Now, I want to talk to the family, a family member of one of the victims of this minor. Akhilesh Avadia is the uncle of victim Anish Avadia. 24-year-old Anish is one of the 2 victims of this horrible crash, and we'll put his visuals on our screen. There he is. Akhilesh ji, नमस्कार आपको. ये बहुत ही दुखद घटना है अखिलेश जी, और हमसे बात करने के लिए, इस बहुत दुखद समय में बात करने के लिए आपका धन्यवाद. अखिलेश जी, हमने अभी एक न्यूज़ ब्रेक किया है कि कुछ वीडियो सामने आया है. ये लड़के जो थे उस कार में, वो शराब पी रहे हैं एक रेस्टोरेंट में. आप क्या बताना चाहेंगे अखिलेश जी? इनको बेल मिल गया है 15 घंटे में.
जी सर, ये केस वास्तव में 304 का है. 304A का नहीं. पुलिस ने इसमें गलत विवेचना की है. 304 आईपीसी की धारा इसमें लगाई जाना चाहिए, ना कि 304A. और ये जो बेल की कंडीशन है, ये तो बिल्कुल हास्यास्पद है. ये हिंदुस्तान के इतिहास की जा रही है, जबकि आईपीसी में और सीआरपीसी में अभी वर्तमान में संशोधन हुए हैं जो जुलाई में से लागू होगा. उसमें 7 साल तक की सजा बताई गई है ऐसे अपराधों के लिए, जिसमें कि ये 18 साल से जो नीचे के व्यक्ति हैं, जो दारू पी के गाड़ी चलाते हैं, हिट एंड रन करते हैं, उसमें कम से कम 7 साल की सजा है. अभी नए एक्ट में जो प्रावधान आ रहे हैं, और पुराने एक्ट में इस तरह के केसेस में 304 में कार्रवाई करना चाहिए कि न कि 304A में, क्योंकि उसने जानबूझकर दारू पी है, वहां पार्टी की है, उसके बाद 250-300 किलोमीटर की स्पीड में बिना लाइसेंस के, बिना रजिस्ट्रेशन की गाड़ी से पीछे से जाके ठोक देता है, और एक सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर की, 2 सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरों की हत्या कर दी जाती है. ये एक हिंदुस्तान के इतिहास में एक बहुत ही अहम मोड़ पे कानून खड़ा हुआ है, जिसमें कानून में कड़ा से कड़ा संदेश देना चाहिए और इसमें संशोधन होना चाहिए, और 304 में ही कार्रवाई होना चाहिए. पुलिस को जागना पड़ेगा. महाराष्ट्र पुलिस बिल्कुल बिक चुकी है और बिल्कुल पैसे के दम पे उन पर कार्रवाई कर रही है. 15 घंटे के अंदर उसको बेल मिल जाती है. ये एक बड़ा हास्यास्पद है, जो बड़ा सोचनीय है हिंदुस्तान के कानून के लिए.
अखिलेश जी, मैं अपने व्यूअर्स के लिए एक क्लैरिफिकेशन देना चाहता हूं. जो आप बता रहे हैं कि 304 और 304A, 304 वो है कल्पेबल होमिसाइड, और 304A जो धारा है, जो एप्लीकेबल है, इसमें जो अप्लाई हुआ है वो है डेथ बाय नेग्लिजेंस नॉट अमाउंटिंग टू कल्पेबल होमिसाइड, विच इज अ लेसर चार्ज। और इसलिए अखिलेश जी इस पे कमेंट कर रहे हैं। अखिलेश जी, जैसे आपने बताया कि ये जुवेनाइल कोर्ट ने जो बेल दे दिया है इस लड़के को, और जो बेल के कंडीशंस हैं जो मैंने अभी पढ़ के सुनाया अपने दर्शकों को, उसके बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे? इस लड़के को एक एसे लिखना है, उसको काउंसलिंग करना है, उसको ट्रैफिक पुलिस का मदद करना है, उसको बैड कंपनी से दूर रहना है, ये है बेल कंडीशंस अखिलेश जी?
सर, ये चीजें तो क्लास 5 के बच्चों को आज की डेट में पढ़ा दी जाती है। जो कंडीशन लगाई हैं, ये क्लास 5 और 6 के बच्चों को पढ़ा दिया जाता, न कि 18 साल के बच्चों को जो कार चला रहा है, 3 करोड़ रुपए की कार चला रहा है, उसको इस प्रकार की कंडीशन हास्यास्पद है कि वो अब जाके वहाँ ट्रैफिक रूल्स पढ़े और इस प्रकार की कंडीशन लगे। बिल्कुल मतलब हास्यास्पद है। जुडिशियल पर भी एक बहुत ही बड़ी उंगली उठ रही है इस समय कि इस प्रकार का जुडिशियल जो लगा रहा है, ये एक हास्यास्पद है। बिल्कुल भी मतलब कुछ कह नहीं सकते कि कैसे उन्होंने किस सोच के आधार पर इस प्रकार की बेल की कंडीशन लगाई।
अखिलेश जी, ये लड़का जो है, जैसे न्यूज़ रिपोर्ट्स में सामने आए हैं, जो हमको भी पता चल रहा है, ये विशाल अग्रवाल का बेटा है। विशाल अग्रवाल एक बहुत ही अमीर रियल एस्टेट टाइकून है पुणे का। क्या आपको लगता है कि इसके वजह से उसको बेल इतनी आसानी से मिल गया है, इन्फ्लुएंस के वजह से?
बिल्कुल 100%। यदि कोई आम आदमी होता तो उसको 304 में ही उसका ट्रायल होता। इस प्रकार का ये केस है, जो ये बिजनेस टाइकून है, ये ब्रह्मा उसके इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के मालिक का लड़का है, विशाल अग्रवाल का, वेदांत अग्रवाल। और ये बहुत इसके पहले भी हम लोगों ने सुना है कि एक एक्सीडेंट किया था इसने पिछले साल भी इसी प्रकार से, उसमें भी ये बच के निकल गया। अब ये दूसरा एक्सीडेंट है इसके उसमें। यदि इस प्रकार से ऐसे एक्सीडेंट होते रहेंगे तो ये रईसजादे हिंदुस्तान की जनता को सरेआम कुचलते रहेंगे सड़कों में। और भविष्य, जो हिंदुस्तान का भविष्य है, बड़े बड़े जो आपके यहाँ छोटे शहरों से जाते हैं, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर बनते हैं, वो और भी बड़े इंजीनियर वैज्ञानिक बनते हैं, वो सड़क दुर्घटना में मारे जाते रहेंगे।
आखिरी सवाल अखिलेश जी, नाबालिग को लेकर जो लॉ एप्लीकेबल है, उसको लेकर एक इशू बन गया है बहुत सालों से इस देश में। आप क्या चाहेंगे अभी? महाराष्ट्र के जो उप मुख्यमंत्री हैं देवेंद्र फडणवीस, उन्होंने एक इंक्वायरी ऑर्डर किया है कि सीसीटीवी वीडियो देखना चाहिए पुलिस स्टेशन में कि क्या कुछ फेवरेटिज्म था, क्या कुछ प्रिविलेज मिला था इस लड़के को और उनके फैमिली को। आप क्या चाहेंगे? अगर आप सरकार से सीधा बोल सकते हैं कुछ, तो आप क्या बोलेंगे अभी?
मैं तो इतना फडणवीस जी से निवेदन करूंगा कि वास्तव में पुलिस को निर्देश दें कि 304A में विवेचना करें, 304 में, क्योंकि वो खुद अपने से दारू पीने गया पब में, उसके बाद बिना लाइसेंस के और बिना, ये तो सुसाइड होमिसाइड केस नहीं, 304 लापरवाही पूर्वक तब कहा जाता जब अपने से उसको किसी प्रकार से दारू नहीं पीता और लाइसेंस रहता उसके पास, रजिस्ट्रेशन होता और हिट हो जाता, तो 304A का केस बनता है। लापरवाही की कभी हो गई दुर्घटना, ये तो सीधे सीधे आप बम, मानो बम है, किसी को भी कुचल सकते हैं। इस प्रकार के में ये जो किशोर का ये है कि 20 ईयर्स का है, ये इसको नहीं माना जाना चाहिए कि ये 2 भागों में विभाग किया जाना चाहिए कि 15 साल से जो माइनर है, 15 साल होना चाहिए उसकी उम्र, और उसमें भी देखना चाहिए कि किस प्रकार का माइनर, उसमें भी थोड़ा कोई कंडीशनल होना चाहिए। इस प्रकार से केस इसको, क्योंकि ये माइनर को लेके सिर्फ किशोर न्यायालय में चला गया, उसको बेल अवेलेबल हो गई, छूट भी जाएगा, कल दूसरे को मारेगा। 100% ये सुधर नहीं सकते। और ये उनको साइट्रिक के पास जाना चाहिए। अरे साइट्रिक के पास तो उनके पिताजी को ले जाना चाहिए था कि उन्होंने उनको गाड़ी कैसे दी, कैसे उन्होंने, वो जानते हैं हमारे बच्चे कहाँ जा रहे हैं दारू पी रहे। साइट्रिक के पास उनके पिताजी को, माँ को ले जाना चाहिए। जो उनको बेल के कंडीशन है उनका इलाज कराना चाहिए था, बेल में ये होना चाहिए था। तो लड़के का क्या साइट्रिक के पास, तो उसके परिवार को होना चाहिए कि उन्होंने 3 करोड़ की गाड़ी ऐसे लड़के को क्यों दी जो साइट्रिक के, आज ये बोला जा रहा है कि उसको साइट्रिक के पास भेजा जाए।
अखिलेश जी, हम अपना कंडोलेंसेस व्यक्त करते हैं आपको और आपके परिवार को। और ये स्टोरी, ये न्यूज़ रिपोर्ट जो है, हम लगातार रिपोर्ट करेंगे इसको लेकर। इंडिया टुडे के रिपोर्टिंग के वजह से काफ़ी थोड़ा सा इम्पैक्ट हुआ है ग्राउंड पे, और हम आपको अपडेट करते रहेंगे। शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए इस बहुत दुखद समय में। थैंक यू वेरी मच अखिलेश अवधिया जी,
धन्यवाद।
जॉइनिंग अस। जी, Ji Akhilesh, thank you. Joining us live from Pune, is Mr. Amitesh Kumar. He's the Commissioner of Police in Pune. Amitesh ji, welcome. Thank you for your time. I know it's a busy time, and I know that the police have a difficult job at the best of times. Could you provide us with an update, Mr. Kumar, on this particular accident, the charges that have been brought against the boy and his father, sir?
Yeah, frankly, the audio wasn't very clear, but I've got the crux of the question. I will just tell you that yesterday itself, the moment this incident came to our light, the accused were booked under Section 304 IPC. I would repeat, they were booked under, the accused was booked under Section 304 IPC, culpable homicide not amounting to murder. And it was not only a 304A case, which is normally registered in the case of an accident.
Okay.
Number two, we had moved the court yesterday itself, requesting permission to try the accused as an adult, since the crime was a heinous crime as defined under Section 2 of the Juvenile Justice Act. The crime being a heinous crime, we had requested that permission under Section 15 of the Juvenile Justice Act be granted to us to try the accused try the juvenile as an adult. However, the court was inclined to disallow our application, and hence we have moved to the higher court, appealing against the said order of the lower court. Number two, yesterday itself, we booked the father of the juvenile for under Section 75 of the Juvenile Justice Act for facilitating the child to get into this situation where he was allowed to drive a car and visit a pub, partying and drinking.
Yes.
Number two, we had also booked the pub owners. I repeat, the pub owners as well as the managers for allowing, for serving liquor to an underage person. We had booked them under Section 77 of the Juvenile Justice Act. All this action was taken yesterday itself. I can tell you that we had taken this incident in a very, very serious manner, and we tried our best within the mandate of law to try and see that we have the most stringent possible approach against such types of illegalities and crime and offences.
Mr. Amitesh Kumar, I appreciate the detail with which you've answered that question. I wanted to ask you a second question, sir, if you permit me, which is that, you've clarified that 304, they've been booked under, you had moved, a case so that he can be tried as an adult and not as a minor. The perception right now, sir, not about the police, but about the court, etc., is that these people are rich and influential, and therefore they've got off easily and nothing will happen to them. They've got bail, the boy has got bail within 15 hours under some ridiculous conditions like writing an essay, etc. What would you say to that, sir? There is so much anger about such a thing, saying this is an influential family and therefore they've got the bail under these ridiculous, absurd conditions.
I am sorry, again, I had an issue listening to your audio, but I think again I've got the crux of the question. I can tell you, as I said, that the police adopted the most stringent path in this case against the accused. To the extent that I am ready to face any panel of legal experts and advocates who can advise me if we could have adopted any better path, or any path which was more stringent than what we adopted. Irrespective of the accused being of whatever economic strata, it does not bother us or influence us at all. Let me reassert that the law we have ensured that we will take all possible steps, all the professional capabilities we have, all the legal resources we have at our hands to put into place to ensure that two young lives which were lost gets justice and the accused face the most stringent possible punishment. And to further add that this is not This is not subsequent to the media or people taking a view on this issue. This was
I understand that.
This was right since yesterday forenoon
Yeah.
that we have adopted this approach and we have adopted this strategy. We are very, very sensitive to this extremely sensational incident which has taken place, and we shall work to our best possible capabilities to ensure that we get justice for these two people. We, in fact, are already in the process of appointing a special counsel to file a charge sheet as expeditiously as possible, make the case as watertight as possible, and to ensure that we take the case to its logical conclusion.
Mr. Kumar, I
answer.
appreciate that. I appreciate your answer, and I appreciate the details that you're sharing with us because it's important right now, Mr. Kumar. I request you to stay on for just a moment longer. This is not a debate, but I wanted you to hear, we also have Prashant Patil, who is the lawyer of the accused in this particular case, who's with me live. Mr. Patil, why shouldn't your client, I mean, everyone is, eligible for a legal defense. There is nothing wrong with that. The question is, your client is guilty of underage drinking, or at least is accused of underage drinking, overspeeding, unlicensed car, unregistered car, 2 people dead, getting bail within 15 hours. This is being seen as grossly unfair and a use of privilege. How would you respond to that, Mr. Patil?
Are we now coming to a conclusion that you want to cast aspersions on the Honorable Court's order? Let me put it this way.
No,
No.
I am not.
I have heard you.
Don't give me this stupid lawyer speak. Answer the question.
See, if this is going to be the conversation, I don't want to be a part of it because
No,
I was
just
called here.
answer the question. I'm asking you. I have set up. One sec. I have set up the question by saying everyone is entitled to a legal defense. Why shouldn't your client be tried as an adult? The police wants that. You've heard Amitesh Kumar, the commissioner of police, say he should be tried as an adult. They've moved a petition saying so. How would you respond to that?
So if you want to have a balanced communication, I'm ready to answer that.
Answer the question.
Yes. I'm not entitled to answer anyone's questions.
Yeah,
I'm not liable to. I'm here for a balanced communication. If you're willing to hear, I'll be speaking.
Of course, you are our guest. We've invited you, so please answer.
You have invited me, and that's why I'm here.
You're wasting time now, Prashant. That's fine. You can do that in court. Answer the question now.
I think then I should be walking out of this interview.
Prashant, just answer the question. The commissioner of police is also here. He's also listening. Why shouldn't your client be tried as an adult?
So this is what I'm trying to tell you. If you have to hear me out, okay? We are at.
And I just want to tell Prashant, apologize for interrupting you. The uncle of one of the victims, Anish Avadia, is also live with us. He's also listening. Yes, Prashant, go ahead.
So we are at an initial stage of investigation in this matter. We have to have faith on the investigation. Whatever has happened till now in this case, we have all followed the due process of law, be it the investigating agencies or the accused side. It is no one's case that the procedure established by law, whatever the Juvenile Justice Act says as of now, has not been followed. The investigating agencies, as rightly, have taken stringent action since inception of the matter. They arrested the accused. They produced him before the Honorable Court. There were legal arguments from both the sides. After hearing the legal arguments and according to the prevalent judgments of the Honorable Bombay High Court and the Supreme Court, the concerned judicial officer, as the Honorable Court, comes to a particular conclusion. That conclusion cannot be debated like this on public domain.
Prashant, I appreciate your point. We will debate whatever we want. You
have called me, hearing out Honorable Commissioner of Police.
You've answered my question, but the question, I get what you're saying. The technical aspect of what you're saying and due process being followed, I get what it is. But someone getting bail in 15 hours and being asked to write an essay as one of the bail conditions, that does not sound like due process. That sounds like influence being used. I'm asking you, how would you address a perception that has built up everywhere in public that the fact that this is a rich kid, son of a rich client, who has used influence allegedly to get favorable bail conditions for his son. How do you address that perception? I'm not saying it's an allegation, sir. I'm saying it's a perception. How do you address that?
This is an allegation that you're making upon the Honorable Court, the judiciary.
No, I'm
Neither do we have
asking
faith on
you.
the
I'm
investigation.
asking you. It's a public perception, sir. Look everywhere. No, this is not. I am not saying anything to the court. I'm asking you.
So I'll tell you what. I again repeat at the cost of repetition. An application was moved for bail by the accused because he is entitled to move an application for bail under the provisions of law. Do we all agree that? Rule of law is equal to everyone. Just because a particular accused belongs to a particular strata of the segment of the society doesn't mean that he is not entitled to move a bail application.
That I said from the start. But then it becomes a matter of selectivity, right? Then it becomes a matter of perception of selectivity.
Influence, the quote unquote word of influence and allegation of influence. Influence on whom? Everyone is acting according to the due process of law. The investigating agencies will move an application to treat this particular accused as an adult because they are within the jurisdiction to do so. After that, the notice will be served upon us. We will argue on the merits of the law. There are certain judgments of the Honorable Bombay High Court, constitutional courts of the country. We will rely on certain judgments, and whatever the fate of the matter, the Honorable Judiciary is independent enough to meet it.
Okay. Amitesh Kumar, I'll give you the last word. That was the lawyer of the minor who says due process is being followed. Is there any reason to believe that due process is not being followed?
See, frankly, it will be inappropriate for me to comment on that, but I can tell you we will leave no stones unturned to see that all possibilities are explored. We have appealed against this order of the court yesterday, and we shall, I repeat, we shall leave no stones unturned to see that this is to prove that this is a heinous crime under the Juvenile Justice Act, and this accused needs to be tried as an adult. That is necessary, that is important, that is what the law says from our point of view. We hope to get a favorable order from the Honorable Court.
Okay. Prashant Patil, what next in this particular case? We've just read out all the bail conditions. Most people are kind of shocked by these bail conditions. They don't sound, like routine bail conditions, like the child should not be, kept in bad company, should undergo counseling, should write a 300-word essay. In your experience, are these routine bail conditions, Mr. Patil?
So let's put it this way.
For someone who was driving a car in which 2 people have died on the road?
So for someone who's driving a car, the allegation, have you as an investigating agency concluded that?
I am asking you, are these routine bail conditions? That's all I'm asking.
The reason I'm academically answering your queries is, under the Juvenile Justice Act, there are certain guidelines while issuing bail. That guidelines have been followed by the Honorable Court. I'm not the spokesperson for that particular court.
I understand that, sir. I understand. But as a lawyer, you must be knowing about bail conditions in the past as well. I'm asking whether a 300-word essay is a normal bail condition.
Yes, they are. There are many other such matters. Forget this matter.
In which 2 people have been killed on a road with a Porsche. See,
again, I'm jumping back to the same answer. You cannot decide, I cannot decide, no one can decide till the investigation is complete. We have to have faith on the independence of the investigation. We have to respect the sanctity of the investigation. No courts and no one can direct the course of investigation. The investigation is an independent process. The truth will come out. We have to have faith at a premature stage. We cannot run a media trial convicting A or B. If the truth is a particular person has committed an offense, it will come out. But we have to wait for the charge sheet to be filed. Once the charge sheet is on record, once the evidence is on record, the particular accused will face trial. If the trial court is convinced about the allegations, he will meet the fait accompli. If the trial court is not convinced about the allegations, again, he has another remedy of law. So this is all the due process of law, the definition of due process of law, it means that. So we are all entitled for that. In this country, as one of the biggest and the richest democracy of the world, every accused is entitled to have his own particular say before the honorable courts.
No, I agree with you. I think there can be no argument about whether someone can have a legal defense or not, due process. But but in a country where we have seen influence being used, I am not even alleging that. I am saying that is the perception here. And is that something that needs to be investigated? Even Devendra Fadnavis, the Deputy Chief Minister, has asked for an inquiry to see whether favoritism, has been used, whether any, any partiality has been shown to the boy owing to his influential family, etc. I mean, the Deputy Chief Minister has asked, sir, it's not just us.
So let me assure you one thing, as the lawyer of the minor and also the citizen of this country. In this particular matter, let there be inquiry against whomsoever it is. The truth is, I believe we have acted fairly in the interest of justice. There is no pressure, there is no influence, because influence cannot be casted on anyone, be it this matter or any other matter for that case.
Okay.
We are dealing with a situation wherein it involves two innocent lives. I would request everyone to at least wait for the investigation to get over. Let the truth come out. The sanctity of the truth will be respected. But we should not have a situation in our country that we reduce ourselves into a banana republic wherein one person is not even allowed to put across his say.
I agree with you. That I agree with you, though, while we shouldn't jump to conclusions, and you'll have no argument with me on that, what we can see so far is a video of underage people drinking, a car speeding, 2 people dead, their bodies completely broken, their families waiting for ice blocks in order to take their bodies back in a dignified way. These are the things that we can accept are real right now and beyond any kind of debate. But we'll have to see where this investigation actually goes. And I think a banana republic is a banana republic where a 300-word essay is a bail condition when 2 people are dead on the road. Thank you, Prashant Patil. Thank you, Amitav Kumar ji. And thank you, Akhilesh ji, for joining me.